My parents humiliated me at my sister's graduation, so I shocked them. You ever have a moment in life where everything just clicks, where the truth you've been running from finally catches up with you? That happened to me at my sister's graduation. I had always known my parents favored Elena over me. She was the golden child, the one who could do no wrong. And me, I was the afterthought. But what happened that night? That was a whole new level of humiliation. My parents stood up to give their speech. At first I expected the usual, praise for Elena, maybe a few heartwarming words. But then, they started joking about how they should have stopped after Elena, about how second-borns are usually useless. And the worst part? The whole room laughed. Nobody, not a single person, turned to me, not even with a look of pity. It was as if I didn't exist. For years, I had brushed off their favoritism. I told myself it wasn't that bad, but that night, sitting in that crowd, listening to my own parents dismiss me as a mistake, it broke something inside me. After the ceremony, I found them. I had never spoken up before, but that night I did. I told them how their words had cut me deeper than they could ever know, that I was their child too, that I deserved to be treated with respect. And you know what my father said? "We have nothing to be proud of when it comes to you." My mother, she just waved her hand and said I was overreacting. After years of feeling invisible, I finally demanded to be seen, and they still chose to look away. That was the night I decided. I was done. I focused on me. For the first time in my life, I stopped trying to earn their love. Instead, I poured every ounce of energy into my studies. 2 years later, I got a full-ride scholarship to my dream university. When I told my parents, they were shocked. Elena, perfect Elena, stared at my acceptance letter as if she couldn't believe I had done something without their approval. My mother's response: "Good thing you got a scholarship because we never saved for your college anyway." But you know what? I didn't care. I packed my bags, I left, and I never looked back. For 3 years, I had peace. No phone calls, no insults, no comparisons. Just me, living my life. Then, out of nowhere, I got an email. "Call us immediately. It's about Elena." My heart sank. Was she sick? Was she hurt? I picked up the phone. And that's when they told me. Elena was struggling with drug addiction. She had lost everything. Her job, her savings, her entire future was falling apart. And now my parents wanted me to come home. They needed me, the same parents who never supported me, the ones who laughed at my pain. Now suddenly, I was important because their perfect daughter, the one they put on a pedestal, had fallen. And the worst part, my father actually asked me, "You didn't introduce her to drugs, did you?" Me? I hadn't spoken to Elena in years, and yet somehow they still found a way to blame me. I refused to talk to my parents, but I couldn't ignore Elena. When I called her, her voice was different. She was exhausted, beaten down, broken. She admitted that the pressure of being perfect had led her here. She had started using drugs to cope. The stress, the expectations, it had all been too much. I felt sad. Not angry, not bitter, just sad. For the first time, I saw her as more than just the golden child. She was just another victim of our parents' obsession with appearances. She had suffered in silence, just like I had. So, what do I do now? Do I go home? Help my sister? Or do I leave my parents to deal with the mess they created? Honestly, I don't know. But for once, I get to decide. And that is something they can never take away from me. What would you do if you were in my place? Would you help Elena? Or would you leave your family behind? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more unbelievable, real-life stories.